So I got up this morning and I had really been struggling with some things. I was having a conversation with God, and in my conversation, I said, God, I understand that we are what we are to do with offense. I get that part, but what do you do with the pain that comes from it? Like, what do you do with the memories that come with it? Just a few days ago. And that's really been in my heart because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you think that you're over something, and then something else, the situation or words or something triggers that thing again, and it comes like right back up, like again. And that's kind of where I was even this morning. Some hurtful things have happened in my family, my parents getting a divorce, just thinking about the absence of my biological father, and all these things. I'm not there anymore, and God has revealed in my heart what to do, and not to reveal too much too soon. I will be getting into that later, but something really amazing happened this morning. I got up, didn't plan on getting up, but I got up to move my car this morning, and when I get back to my bed, I just felt the urge to pray. And I just began to thank God, and He just caused me to remember how long I've been on this journey with Him, or how long He's been on this journey with me. And my mind went back to 2010 when I first got saved. This was before marriage and before having a family. And I began to want to listen to songs that I remember listening to then. So I began listening to a couple of songs. And my heart just grew with thankfulness unto God. And the situation that was so great in my mind just began to become smaller. But anyway, I began to praise and thank God. And by the end of that, I felt another urge to get up and to bow down before God, to lay down on my floor and to bow down before Him. And so I did. I put my robe underneath me because I was crying and a lot of snot and stuff was coming out of my nose. Yeah, just get the picture because I'm taking you there. So I was praying and all these things were happening. And God in that moment answered my question. What do you do with the pain? You really do want to forgive and you really don't want to hold on to it. But what happens to the pain? It's like, God, like, I forgive, but I'm in pain. I forgive the offense, but I'm left wounded. I'm hurting from it. What do I do with that? What do I do? In that moment, God began to like flash people that have really not just offended me, but wounded me, even unknowingly, even maybe unknowingly. And with each person, I began to say, God, I choose to forgive, and I said, I forgive their sins against me that have wounded me. I forgive. I choose to forgive. I let it go, God. I give it to you. And I just prayed that with my whole heart, with every single person that came to mind. It was at least 7 people. I didn't realize so much had built up within me, but there was a heaviness in my spirit, and I really needed to give it up because I knew something was not right. And by the end of that, it's like there were no more racing thoughts in my mind. It was just like peace. It was like just stillness. And I felt impressed to stand up. And I stood up and I physically felt the difference. So then I came into my kitchen. And I said, God, I thank you. This is freedom. This is what freedom feels like. I thank you for giving me freedom once again. I was just thanking and praising Him. And I felt like this urge to gag. And I got on my hands and my feet. I grabbed a paper towel. I got on my knees and my hands and I grabbed a paper towel. And I kind of began to vomit. And there was like this white foam substance, and I truly believe that deliverance took place because once that happened, it was like before I felt lighter, like let's say 95%, but after that it's like it was 100%, and it's like my countenance has completely changed. So I'm saying this, and I shed transparency on myself, that this might glorify God and also help you who are struggling to do the same. But I understand that a lot of times it's easy to forgive an offense, but many times it's hard to relieve yourself of the pain. And sometimes you truly think that you have forgiven when you have not, Like, I understand that the memories are going to be painful, but you have to outwardly speak with your mouth and forgive those people of their sins against you, and do that with your whole heart. And God is faithful to forgive, and He's faithful to free you from it. I just woke up this morning, and I feel like a totally new person. And I just thank God for that, because repentance is continual. And there are times when you begin to feel heaviness in your spirit, where your praise seems as if it begins to dry up. And in those moments, you really need to take time to examine your heart and to examine yourself for maybe offenses you haven't forgiven, for a root of bitterness that may have taken place because of your unwillingness to forgive. But at the end of the day, God is still faithful, and He wants complete deliverance of you so that you can be used of Him for His glory and to do His will unhindered, unchained, unhinged.